Tell me, when did you start going up to the Catskills?
I'm talking about a lot about it this week, and I can't remember precisely.
It's all right.
But I do know that it preceded, okay, the year I graduated high school, I would have been 17. Mm-hmm. And when I got fired from that job, which was only fair, I was inept, and came up to the mountains, my mother said, "Oh, you're just in luck. Mrs. Orlowsky's waitress just quit. You go down this and tell her you're here." Because I had done it the previous year. So I would have started at working in the Catskills at 16, 17.
But had you been going before that?
Maybe 2 years.
Because you mentioned, I think, that you came home to a new house once.
That was my sophomore year.
Okay.
It was a new house, new neighborhood, no friends, and a new high school.
How far away was Goodwin Avenue from Belmont?
Maybe 15 blocks.
So not you couldn't just walk over there.
No. The grammar school that I went to, Bergen Street School, was like, I have a list somewhere, but 7 or 8 blocks from Belmont Avenue, mm-hmm. north. Mm-hmm. And then, no, that would have been west. And then there was Bergen Street, and that was sort of a dividing area. And north of Bergen Street were maybe 3 or 4 streets, mm-hmm. running also parallel to Bergen Street, which fed into Bergen Street Grammar School, okay. which went from kindergarten to 8th grade. And I knew maybe 3 or 4 people who were in my elementary school, who went to Weequahic, one lived not far from me on Belmont Avenue, and Linda Cantor lived north of Bergen Street in what was the up-and-coming neighborhood. Okay. Eventually, that was surpassed by the suburbs. But if you lived in that area, you were more likely to have a private home. So Linda had a private home with 3 stories and a music room. She played the oboe. And they belonged to Bnei Abraham, which associates with, the area associates with Bnei Abraham, which was Reform. And the rabbi was Rabbi Prinz, who worked with Martin Luther King. And it's the area where Philip Roth grew up.
So did your father ever explain why you moved?
No, I'm sure it was my mother's decision.
Okay.
I was led to believe it was because the boy who lived downstairs, or maybe I just jumped to the conclusion, my brother was pushed off the porch, which were concrete steps. And we moved shortly thereafter. I associated those events the same. When, at some point, when I got on the list of correspondence from the high school, somebody recognized my name, I recognized her name. She was the downstairs neighbor whose brother had done this.
Okay.
And I was supposed to ask her if he remembered.
Did you?
And I communicated with her, and she said, all she said was, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Oh, okay. Did you once mention that you had friends in what you called the projects?
Before I moved from Belmont Avenue, I went to Southside High School. Mm-hmm. And several blocks toward the Hudson River was the 2 main streets that were either waterfront or not, or close to north-south. And there was projects south.
What are projects?
Lower class homes,
okay.
All apartments. I don't know the rules, how to get in them, but I assume you had to be some sort of needy. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I was very popular with all these girls because I knew all these boys. So we had a get together. Mm-hmm. Their homes didn't look any smaller than mine. Mm-hmm. the apartment I was in. I was only in one. I brought all the boys, and after that, they didn't need me anymore.
Okay.
I don't know whether the parties continued or not.
Was there anything that you remember that your mother liked, that your mother cooked or baked that you particularly liked?
Yeah, my mother made delicious rugelach. She made lemon meringue pie that was also delicious. She made, I went blank, but she made lots of soups.
What type of rugelach did she make?
That's his phone.
Okay.
With nuts and
Okay.
raspberries.
And what type of soup?
Oh, lentil, barley. Was so rich and filling that it would be almost a main course.
And
the third thing, again, I lost it. I just had it 2 seconds ago. Balinzas. We made balinzas. I participate. It's the only thing I ever cooked.
Yeah.
The only thing, and I didn't cook it, was I had a goat. The window would open, second floor window.
Yeah.
My mother would throw a little handkerchief down with money in it.
Yeah.
And this is my memory from Goodwin Avenue.
Yeah.
So I was at least sophomore in high school going onward. And I had to go to the corner and to Mr. Kravitz. No, I'm in the wrong place.
Okay.
No, it's Goodwin Avenue.
Yeah.
Goodwin Avenue. Okay. Corner was Red's Candy Store. I didn't know it was called Red's then. Next to it was Kravitz, and it was like all kinds of things. My brother learned to slice lox in there, and they had barrels of sauerkraut and pickles and stuff like that. And I had to go to Mr. Kravitz's and buy a gushy white bread. That meant white Wonder Bread, no value. And we would go. We had to go home. I had to trim the crust off, such as it was. Crust wasn't crust.
Yeah.
It didn't crackle or anything. And then we would roll it. We use a rolling pin and roll it out, and that was the filling went in the. That was the crepe.
And what filling did they put in?
Whatever you normal.
A cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pot cheese.
Pot cheese and fry it.
Yeah.
And so not a batter, not making a crepe, but.
No.
Okay.
But I thought it was the most delicious thing in the world.
Was there any advice that your mother gave you when you were little that you always remember?
No.
No. Or your father?
No.
You have a favorite teacher?
Well, I know that one time, I must have been, I always think it was 5th grade, but it must have been later because I had an income of 50 cents, so it must have been from babysitting. And I know I started when I was 12, which would have been just my 8th grade. So I don't know, but I bought gladiolas for Mrs. Schweitzer. The reason I remember it is not Mrs. Schweitzer's reaction or anything like that, but because when I came home, my mother thought it was for her. And I said, no, they're for Mrs. She never said anything like, that's not nice or anything, But I guess years later, I remembered the story, felt a little guilty. I never took my pennies and did that.
Is there any question that you wish I would ask you?
No. I would have liked to have known if my mother regretted not finishing high school. I would like to know when they moved when I was an infant, and I don't know why, that my mother's family, my father and I lived with my grandfather and uncles, and we moved, and I don't know where. I don't know where that house was or apartment. And I know that the piano couldn't be moved. I heard that story. They wanted $10 to move a piano. I asked who played it. My mother said she did. She never did in her whole life afterwards. Did she regret it? Was she good? I know she liked classical music and show tunes.
Which type of show tunes?
Well, the earliest ones I remember are all the Sigmund Romberg the before the people who started with operetta
Okay.
and then moved in to musical comedy. Those famous people whose names are all slipping me by. But I don't know. I mean, I'm Red Moon. Give me some men, some 10,000 men. I'll give you, the one of Nelson Eddy and whatever her name is. Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy made about 6 movies. The last movie of that sort that was made was with Mario Lanza called The Student Prince. If you ever want to see what it is, it's light operetta.
Okay.
And my mother and her Maj group would go once in a great while to see these shows.
I think I asked you this before, but did you learn Mahjong from your mother?
No.
Is that why you didn't want to learn Mahjong?
I didn't want to be one of the girls.
What does that mean?
They sat there and they gossiped,
Okay.
told their stories.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll stop.
That's it.
That's it.